Okay, Sahil, so we've got another question. A very relevant question of the current era, but a nasty one as well. But I want to ask this question on behalf of a friend who sent me this. And the question is, why should we hate the mullahs and maulvis of the world? Let me repeat. Why should we, as people, normal people, hate the maulvis and mullahs of the world? So this question comes from a friend who is currently fixated on the idea that the maulvis are the core reason of evil in the Islamic world.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, here's another difficult question.
Actually, no, it's a good question. In a way that it represents the actual perception of the whole clan of people who are representing religion. And the answer is no, we shouldn't hate the mullahs. We should not hate the Maulvi.
Okay.
That's the straight answer. It's a short version of the answer. But I know what this question is way deeper than this.
Yeah.
He didn't ask, should we? He said, why should we hate him? Because there's an inner cry saying, I don't wanna, but I
still
hate him. And there's a wider, the problem has a wider spectrum, and this hue and cry is from an inner subset of the real problem with our generation, our era. Let's not talk about generation. Let's just talk about the last few hundred years.
Yeah.
And not even that, because mullahs were a very influential power in the last 300 years, till the last 400 years. If anything, they were the only thought leaders of not just the world, but specifically our area in our region, from Persia to India. They were formidable names who were actually the top philosophers, and they were arguing in the finest possible way against the biggest tyrannies of the region here. Not just here, but everywhere. But I'm talking about relevantly here, because I do not know whether everybody hates the Maulvi the way Pakistan, Indian, Bangladeshis hate the Maulvis here. I think we have a way bigger, disgusting impression psychologically, and people are against putting their kids in the madrasa.
Yeah.
And I know women would cry if I tell them, you know what, you wanted to send your kids to Berkeley or Cambridge, but I did something better. I put them in a course in the Jamia Al-Azhar for 8 years. She's going to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
And, she's going to have a name Fatima or something, but she doesn't want it.
Yeah.
Or Jamia Al-Azhar is a way higher name, by the way. I put her in Bajor.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? So I know that there's an inner psychological repulsion against the madrasa. And it's not the Maulvi, it's the madrasa. Maulvi is just an outcome of the madrasa. And there is reason why that has happened, even though the biggest thought leaders, and I'm talking about scientifically, anthropologically, our behavior in this region was shaped by the Maulvi alone. Jinnah had lesser influence on this region. Gandhi had lesser influence on this region than Ahmad Raza Barelvi.
Yeah.
And if I give you a little bit of a hierarchy of how many people in a descending order, not descending order, but at least in the top 5 names that I know that have created a far bigger influence on this region in terms of mental growth, thought leadership, and those were all religious people. You cannot name an atheist from here. You cannot name a scientist from here. You cannot name